Welcome to a problem where we puzzle through a rectangle and some criteria for that rectangle. We will be solving this with a guess and check table. The length of a rectangle is 1 more than 4 times its width. The area of the rectangle is 105 square meters. Find the dimensions of the rectangle and find the perimeter of the rectangle. If you are in a liberal arts math course, this is a puzzling kind of activity, trying to figure out what the dimensions and the perimeter would be for the criteria that are given. If you're in a more algebraic type course, this is probably going to be more equation driven. To get us started for a guess and check table, we do need to get organized. We know that we have a rectangle, and the rectangle has a width and a length. We are referencing the width, so let's call it W. And then the length is 1 more than 4 times the width. So an expression for the length could be 4W plus 1. The area of the rectangle is 105 square meters, and the area is found by taking the length times the width. To find the dimensions of the rectangle, we're going to try a guess and check table where we make a guess at the width, find the corresponding length, find the area for that width-length pair, and then see if we have a solution to the task that has been posed for us. Because we're talking about a geometric problem, we can start with just positive widths, and then that will make everything else positive. So no need for 0 or negatives in here. I'm going to start with a width of 20 meters, just as my initial guess. When I do that, that means that my length will be 4 times 20 plus another 1. We need to use that expression for the length. And so that means that my length will be 81. And then when I do 20 times 81 to get my area, I get an area of 1,620, and that would be in square meters, but I'm going to leave the units off for right now. We're looking for an area of 105. My area is way too big, so that is not a solution in this case. So let's try a new width. Maybe I try a width of 10. And then that would mean that the length would be 4 times 10, which is 40, plus 1. For 41 for the length. When I do 10 times 41, that will give me an area of 410, which is smaller than what I had before. That's the good news. But then the bad news is that I still don't have an area of 105 square meters. So I'm getting closer, but I'm not there yet. I'm going to try a width of 5. When I try a width of 5, that means that my length will be 4 times 5 plus 1, or 21. When I check the area, 5 times 21 gives me an area of 105. And that is the area that I wanted, the area of 105 square meters. So that's good news. I have found my width and my length, and I'm just going to make a note of those over here. I have a rectangle that is 5 meters in width and 21 meters in length. The guess and check table keeps us organized. It allows us to make guesses, and then the guesses get more educated as you move along, and then you just keep repeating the process until you find the solution that works for whatever scenario you have. We need to still write an answer, a full-fledged answer for the rectangle problem, and we should check on reasonability and whether we can actually check the problem. There's my rectangle. We came up with a width of 5, so the width of the rectangle is 5 meters. That meant that the length of the rectangle was 21 meters from doing 4 times 5 plus 1. We also needed to find the perimeter of the rectangle according to the original problem, and to do that you need to find the total of the edge lengths, which means we'll need to take 2 sets of 5 and 2 sets of 21 and add them together. When you do that, you'll get a perimeter of 52 meters. So those are the answers to the original problem. As far as reasonability, we have all positive answers. That's very good. As far as checking for sure, we needed to make sure that our length was one more than 4 times the width. And we guaranteed that in our guess and check table. We forced that to happen. And then we also need to check the area one more time. When we do 21 times 5, we do get an area of 105 square meters. And so this one is done.